So, welcome back to Homes and Loans with Elite Mortgage. Today we have Jonathan with Meritage Homes, and I just want to say thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for bringing me in.
yeah. And then for those that are brand new, we're doing this little mobile podcast, we call it, where we bring realtors on, and we're going to bring some clients as well, share their experiences, things that can help you guys out as maybe future home buyers or maybe new to the industry, and hopefully better serve your clients as well. So I want to start today with Jonathan. Just kind of, if you can introduce yourself a little bit about you, what you do, and how you can help the community out.
Yeah. A little bit about me. I have been in Jacksonville since 1997. So I've been here for quite some
Yeah,
times, man.
I was trying to do the math in my head right
Yeah,
now.
it's like 30 years.
Yeah.
I got into real estate 2015, got my full license in 2017. And from the time that I got here when I was young to the time now, like all of this has grown like
Yeah.
tremendously. And um, I've been very lucky and gracious that, I've been able to help my community out, my bilingual community, Spanish community out,
Yeah.
a lot, and getting their, first time home buyers. That's my niche, is first time home
Yeah.
buyers.
Okay. Yeah, and you also mentioned something important with Hispanic communities. That's I noticed. I came here about 6, 7 years ago, and I noticed it's grown.
Yeah.
Right, and it's probably gonna grow even more.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's right now I'm trying to figure out like the census. Because I think like it does it like every 5 years, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out like how big our community has gotten here in Jacksonville. Um, because I think Jacksonville right now, as it stands, and like the big cities is Orlando and then Atlanta.
Yeah.
I believe Jacksonville is gonna be like a mix of one of those cities. How big it's gonna be, especially with the Spanish community.
Yeah.
And all other communities too, because there's a big Asian influence here too.
Okay.
A lot of Asian communities are here. They live here because we have NAS Jacks and then Mayport,
Yeah.
so it's a big naval city. So it's a military city, and with that, growth comes with that. And then of course that's how you see it in real estate.
Yeah.
You start seeing growth in that way.
Yeah. No, I agree. And to what you were saying that we're gonna grow like Orlando, Atlanta. Yeah, I even see us being kind of like a Tampa, where we grow kind of like that too.
Yeah.
So I think 10 years for the people that are getting it now, it's gonna be great. 10, 20 years down the road.
I think closer. I think
Even
actually,
closer, okay.
like I think even like 5 years, because it's been going on for quite some time now. That of course, everybody knows the big depression that happened 2005, 2008.
Right.
And again, that's when I started seeing like a lot of development, and then it just all of a sudden just stopped.
Okay.
And then like 2010s, that's when like FHA started coming out and all that, and like the government started kind of like helping people like kind of push in and like push the economy to buy. And that's when you started seeing like this big growth happening in Jacksonville. And then of course 2020 COVID.
Yeah.
So and that's a lot of people say that's like the anomaly in real estate, because it really is an anomaly in real estate. Like they saw humongous growth during that time.
No, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. And then I also want to ask for our viewers out there, so you're Meritage Homes, right? New construction builder. You have an advantage being bilingual, so you can help a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Maybe some other builders can't do as well.
Right.
So what, I guess, advantages would they get working with you as a new builder?
What
makes you different compared to some of these other builders that are out there?
So as far as client goes, so we have a lot of very competitive pricing, very popular pricing, that we basically go and compete with general real estate. We just don't compete. We compete with builders, but we also compete with general real estate as far as pricing goes. So our pricing is a lot favorable for clients with everything that we put in the houses. So like all of our houses are smart. we have the foam insulation that I mentioned before to you, where the foam insulation basically makes the house climate control from top to bottom. So the attic, the house, so if it's like 75 degrees, the attic might be like 76, 77. So that's a huge, huge savings in energy efficiency.
Right.
So, and then 42-inch cabinets, quartz granite countertops. All our floors are tile except for the living space, which is like the not living space, but like the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So and tile bathrooms. So we throw in a lot of things, creature comforts that a lot of families want and looking are in the home that some other builders would upcharge.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's a little different with how they do things and what they prioritize.
Right.
So no, that's good, especially the electric bill savings, especially being in Florida as it gets hotter. Those bills go up.
Yeah, so we started like in Arizona. So and we started like 40 years ago. And you can imagine Arizona how arid it is and how hot it is. So that's where that all that technology comes in and we're bringing it over here. So you know, Florida is like it's a whole ecosystem that's different. So it's like humid, cold, hot, especially in Northeast Florida. So
yeah, no, yeah, and I'm from Miami, so I get it. It gets very hot. 100 degrees easily. Yeah.
Yeah, here I think we're gonna have like 90s.
Yeah,
like after tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, and and I think also going back to the Spanish-speaking clientele that you can help out, right, para los hispanos. Es bueno tener a alguien como tú que pueda ayudarlo cuando están buscando casa y eso, porque o sea, no toda la gente habla español. Y más me he dado cuenta en las construcciones, la mayoría no nada de español. Soy bueno que tiene alguien que pueda ayudarlo y eso, y comunicarse, cualquier pregunta, también mantener a la gente de ellos, pero también tú eres alguien que puede ayudarlo a mejor entender mejor los beneficios que tiene.
Sí, yo puedo, en esa situación, sí, yo puedo ayudar. Yo puedo, tú sabes, si ellos tienen tantas preguntas, yo puedo, tú sabes, cómo tranquilizarlo y dejarlo saber que somos como uno. Tenemos, bueno, yo soy de la isla, yo soy de Puerto Rico. Y mi papá es dominicano también, yo soy dominicano y puertorriqueño, pero la comunidad, cuando ya ellos saben que hay una persona que habla español, se ponen como más tranquilos y ahí ellos comienzan como que a oír más y los consejos que uno le dice y todo eso, ya tienen como que confianza, que Jonathan me está ayudando, me va a proteger y todo eso en esa situación.
Sí, por supuesto. ¿Y hace cuánto tiempo viniste de Puerto Rico? ¿Tú naciste allá o acá?
Yo nací aquí en los Estados Unidos. Yo nací en Nueva York, en Washington Heights, Manhattan. Entonces, me crié en Puerto Rico. Entonces, yo creo que en 94 de Nueva York y me quedé allá 3 años en Puerto Rico y vine para acá. Pero mi escuela fue allá, todo fue allá. Aprendí a leer, escribir y obvio hablar español. Entonces, ahí fue que fue mi crianza y yo vine aquí, yo creo que en séptimo grado o junior high. No me recuerdo bien. No, yo estaba ya en sexto grado, por el séptimo grado, y estaba aquí.
Y viniste directo para Jacksonville, ¿no?
Sí, para Jacksonville, ya.
¿Qué más te gusta de Jacksonville? Tú dijeras. O algo que te guste de Jacksonville. O sea, viviendo aquí y eso que tú y tu esposa pueden hacer.
Bueno, de la amistad que yo he hecho aquí. Yo tengo amistades, yo tengo amigos de cuando yo era pequeñito, de cuando yo estaba en junior high. Entonces, la amistad que yo tengo aquí. También lo que me gusta es que todavía estamos en Florida, que todavía hay diferentes climas que nosotros tenemos. Hay frío, pues tú sabes cuando se pone el invierno, se pone bien frío. Sí, 30, 40 grados, que Orlando, ni Tampa, ni Miami nunca ha sufrido por eso. Y también aquí el verano también aquí, y también las conexiones que yo he hecho aquí en Jacksonville es linda y me han generado muchas amistades, también el negocio de bienes raíces, algo que me ha ayudado también en eso. Y eso, también tengo playa, tú sabes, tengo playa y tengo río, ¿tú me entiendes? Nosotros no podemos ir en cualquier lado. Pero así me hace mucha falta Puerto Rico, sí, porque allá la playa de allá es diferente aquí, una agua turquesa y tú sabes, el bosque, el yunque, la montaña, sí.
Yeah. No, sí, tienes razón. I mean, yo soy cubano, so entiendo lo que tú dices sobre eso. Y ya estaba en Puerto Rico, ya estaba en Punta Cana también, so tuve ahí
Oh,
unos
for real?
clients. Yeah, yeah.
Nada,
So
Punta Cana es diferente.
yeah.
Punta
Sí,
Cana es diferente.
sí. Hasta yo viví en Haití un mes. Luego no me recuerdo mucho de eso, pero muy pequeño. Um, pero no, algo que quería saber y también creo que va a ser bueno para el público saber y eso, ¿por qué tú decidiste hacer esto? O sea, de trabajar como realtor, trabajar específicamente con Meritage Home, ¿por qué esa decisión?
Ok, bueno, desde cuando pequeñito yo siempre he trabajado.
Yeah,
Entonces, eso siempre me lo engendró mi abuelo, que si tú no trabajas, tú no ganas nada, tú no eres nada. Entonces, los estudios también es importante, pero yo estudié, yo me gradué, yo tengo mi diploma y todo eso de college, colegio, de universidad,
¿de qué te agrada?
medical science.
Oh,
Yeah.
very smart. ¿Por qué estás haciendo esto?
Bueno, tú sabes la situación. Entonces, no, mi padrastro también, él vende ropa, él tenía tienda de ropa. Entonces, siempre cuando yo salía de la clase, de la escuela, yo iba para la tienda y eso es lo que yo entendía, vender, venta. Entonces, yo todavía estaba en la escuela y le tenía miedo a la bienes raíces, te voy a decir bien claro, le tenía miedo a la bienes raíces porque en esa situación, cuando pasó los 2005 y 2008, cuando tú sabes, el sistema falleció con todo y el derrame económico que pasó, ahí yo dije, no, yo no me meto en eso, y tampoco vender el carro, nunca me metí en vender el carro porque no quería ser, como se dice, sleazy salesman.
Yeah,
Entonces,
es un mundo diferente.
entonces, not that every car salesman is like that, but, no quería tener esa imagen. Entonces, fue por una colega que yo trabajaba con T-Mobile y era siempre en venta, yo siempre hacía bien en venta. Entonces, yo trabajaba con T-Mobile y entonces ella me dijo, mira, tú eres bueno en venta, ¿por qué no te metes en bienes raíces? Y yo, no, eso no. Y yo comencé con la cosas, diciendo cosas, tú sabes que eso no trabaja y nada de eso. Y ella me probó, yo fui como un transaction coordinator para ella, o TSA, y eh, y ahí yo comencé a ver los contratos y comencé a entender los contratos y como que me gustó. Ahí yo dije, bueno, déjame entrar. Y me entré. Y, mano, te digo, si ese curso es bien dificultoso, mano, es dificultoso, uno de los más dificultosos cursos que yo he hecho. Pero pasé y comencé a vender y desde ahí, por la bienes raíces, ha tenido lo que yo tengo ahora. ¿Me entiendes? Tengo casa,
Sí.
me casé, pude pagar mi boda por eso, pude pagar mi casa por eso, me ha dado muchas oportunidades y vamos, yo voy por ya casi 10 años haciéndolo y no creo que yo voy a parar.
Sí.
Y con Meritage lo hice porque Meritage Homes es algo que yo vi que es casi igualito a lo que yo estaba haciendo con bienes raíces, como yo estaba haciendo solo.
Okay.
Entonces, las mismas ideas que yo tenía, ellos también lo tienen. Y también ellos me dejan correr la cosa con los sueños que yo tengo y la idea que yo tengo, ellos no me dan límites. Entonces, ellos me dejan hacer lo que yo puedo hacer y yo soy muy visionary, como se dice, visionario.
Sí.
Y entonces a mí me gusta hacer esas cosas y tener muchas diferentes cosas. Tú has visto los eventos que yo he hecho y yo tiro más eventos, los videos que yo he hecho contigo y con otra gente. Tú sabes que tuviste que yo estaba bailando ahí. Y entonces ahí a mí no me importa, tú me entiendes, a mí no me da vergüenza. Yo hago la cosa que es y obvio, lo hago con respeto y todo, pero ellos me dan como las alas y me dan el aire. Yo tengo alas y ellos me dan aire. Sí.
Y eso, I think, muy importante, right? It's important que tienen the trust
Sí.
to do that, right?
Sí.
Porque estábamos, we were talking about this before recording, and we were talking about how getting like constrained, getting restricted with things can always be good.
Yeah, like who's benefiting? Yeah, who's benefiting off of that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I didn't know that, so that's awesome to learn.
Yeah.
That you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask, when you got into real estate 10 years ago, right? Going back 10 years, did you think it was going to be what it is? Like, right? Some people think, the people are in this industry make easy money, stuff like that. Isn't as hard? Do you think it's a lot harder than what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was just like, like especially like agents, like new home consultants, that they were just order takers. That they just like sit on the desk and like people just come in and like they're just like, oh, what do you want, and all that stuff. And I realized no, it's not the same. It's actually like a lot of hustle. Like you gotta put your name out. You gotta talk to clients. You gotta talk to loan officers. You gotta talk because you guys are our clients, even though you're a professional. Real estate agents are our clients.
Right.
So we take care of our clients. Meritage Homes take care of their clients.
Yeah.
So if we take care of the clients, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to bring more clients in.
Right.
So that's what we do. So we want that relationship. We always want that relationship with real estate agents, because we understand that without real estate agents, we can't sell. Yes, of course, we can market and we can do all that stuff, and we have the money for it.
Yeah.
But we rather have that relationship with real estate agents, because at the end of the day, the real estate agent is kind of like, they're kind of going to be us, representing us out there in the general real estate market.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a business partnership, right?
Yep.
And it doesn't work without the other. You need both.
No. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. That makes sense. Now, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot here with Meritage, but so I've heard stories, right? I'm sure other people have, but sometimes when new builders, houses get built, there's something wrong with the house, even after closing, maybe down the road.
Yeah.
Something like that. So if you could kind of, I guess, explain how you guys would handle that, something that did happen,
right,
with you guys.
Yeah. So we got warranties for that. So like we have 1 year warranty front to back. So that means like everything that you can think of inside the house, like something goes wrong, they have 1 year. Second year takes care of like certain things, like, like AC, plumbing, and then, appliances. Cause we do give appliances. We give like washer and dryer and like everything else. So like basically the client doesn't even have to like think about, only thing they got to think about is the couches and the beds and all that stuff, bring their stuff. But there's also 10-year warranty, structural warranty on there. But just in case, like let's say something happens after closing, right?
Yeah.
And there's like, I don't know, something like a crack on the wall or something like that. If it wasn't by the client,
right.
Then they can come in, call, and be like, hey, I have this like huge hairline crack. Like, okay. Then they do a service ticket and all that stuff. So as far as that goes, like you and I understand, there are warranties on that, right. And then we do take care of that. We do take care of the clients and all that stuff. So from what I've seen is like we're really quick on that. Yeah. And they're not, we're not, we don't drag our feet. We want a high percentage. We want a high percentage of customer satisfaction. Right. So our goal, I think, is to be like above 95 right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So, which is pretty high. I mean, you think about 95 is still pretty high. Yeah. So like our goal is to be above that. Like right. We're trying to be closest to like 100%.
Yeah. Close to as perfect as you can possibly be, right?
Right.
We're never going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We're humans.
Yeah.
but you want to try and keep working towards that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think is something that people will be like surprised to hear about you? Something maybe you can share that.
Like personal
Sure.
or
Sure.
well, I mean, a lot of people that know me already, like I almost turned pro as a boxer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So you did like amateur boxing too and stuff
mhm,
like
yeah,
that? Okay.
I did that. I was since I was a little kid. I was been boxing. I've been
Oh,
in
that's
martial
awesome.
arts. I've been doing all that stuff. Um, I also met Obama.
Okay.
So when I was living in New York, so
Yeah.
I lived in New York for a little bit by myself, like an adult. And when I worked for the Modern Museum over there in New York, and he came in with Michelle,
Okay.
and I was like, "What?" And like he was shaking everybody's hand, so I was like, that was pretty cool. I met a couple stars out there. Um, and that's been pretty unique.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to been able to like touch a lot of stuff. And then going back to the martial arts part, I did Wing Chun Kung Fu.
Okay.
And then my descendants, like it goes by descendants of like teachers, like Sifus. Um, I'm like a direct descendant of Ip Man. So like you've seen the movie Ip Man.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm a direct descendant of that,
Interesting.
of that lineage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still practice like boxing anytime?
Yeah, I do practice. I mean, I gained a lot of weight, so a lot of people are like, "Oh man, Jonathan looks different." But no, I still do that. I still practice. I still have my own gym at home. I still have my own punching bag. I still do all that stuff. And if I got a chance to teach, like I do it, and I do it for free. I don't charge.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to know about you.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah. So don't try me.
around. Yeah.
Don't try me. No, that's it.
That's awesome. What do you think has been one of the biggest maybe problems or challenges you've overcome, or maybe help a buyer and agent overcome on a deal, something like that?
There's been a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a lot. I would say like being that middleman
Mhm.
between, well, in general real estate, being that middleman and coming with a solution instead of like pointing fingers.
Right.
Because that's easy. Like you can easily say, "Well, you did this and you did this and you didn't do this and you didn't do that." And instead of doing that, like I look at it of like as a chain, and like I'm I'm always I'm always saw myself as like a leader in that point.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
exactly what I was thinking about. That's what a leader does.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
always saw that, and I was like, instead of like, well, why did you like Lazaro? What happened? Like, what happened with the deal?
Yeah.
Like, what happened with, and like kind of be like, hey, what's the solution? Where can we go? And then I'll throw something in that you maybe didn't think about,
Right.
and of course somebody else might be like, hey, what about this? Or how about this? Or maybe can we ask a little bit more of questions? Like like I've seen people that that come in. Um, um that come in and be like, I have no money. And that's our culture. Our culture is like that. They come in and be like, no tengo dinero.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do you mean no tengo dinero? Like, ¿cómo es? Tú tienes carro, tú tienes esto, que no tiene dinero.
¿Cómo pagar las
¿Cómo
cosas?
tú pagas las cosas?
Yeah.
Entonces ellos dicen, no tengo dinero, no tengo dinero. Y yo, ok, pero tiene cuenta de retiro, tiene cuenta de esto. Oh, sí, yo tengo eso, o yo puedo usar eso. Y yo, yeah, habla con Lázaro, él te puede decir, o habla con el loan officer, él te puede decir que eso se puede utilizar, es una inversión, tú puedes utilizar algo, una inversión a otra inversión, sin no darte multa ni nada de eso. Y ellos, y ahí tú ves la bombilla que hace ting, y yo, ok, pues tú tienes dinero. Y se ve que algunas veces tienen como 40,000, 50,000, 80,000, y tú dices, pero me dijiste que no tienes nada y ahora tienes esto, ahora se cambió la cosa y le dan beneficio cuando, y eso es algo, porque eso es algo que yo he tenido el talento de hablar con los clientes y no es talento, es como un gift que Dios me dio, que yo puedo hablarle a ellos y ellos no se sienten como que yo les falta el respeto. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Sí.
Y ellos tienen confianza y ellos ven, oh, ok, cool. Sí, tenemos esto y esto y esto y esto. Y ellos corren, ellos ven, porque ellos ven ya que hay una avenida que ellos pueden ir por esa avenida y tener, al final del día es tener la casa. Eso es lo que yo quiero.
The money situation. Okay.
Yeah, the money situation.
Yeah.
Like they tell you, oh, I don't have money.
Sí.
I don't have no money.
Yeah,
Como que no money.
$40,000
Y tienen $40,000 ahí debajo de la cama y tienen ahí. O sucede que si tienen dinero en efectivo y tú sabes que eso en el banco no es agradable. Sí, no es agradable. Entonces yo decía, pero yo tengo 100,000. ¿Cómo tú tienes 100,000? ¿Qué tú hiciste con ese dinero? Ah, no, lo tengo ahí salvado, tú sabes, una cajita de fuerte, una cajita de, tú sabes, what do you call it, a safe box, una cajita de eso. Y yo, wow, una caja fuerte, tú tienes ese dinero. Like, ¿qué tú hiciste?
Algo que me recordaste de uno de mis primos. Ahí estaba hablando y dice, oh, ¿por qué ese mío así? Acá hiciste algo así, igual que
¿Qué hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste? ¿Te fuiste para Miami? ¿Qué hiciste allá?
No, pero ya, tiene toda razón en eso. Y también, yendo a lo que estaba hablando de ser líder y resolver el problema, right? Yo siempre digo, hay una solution to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
O sea, es simplemente, okay, ¿cuál es esa solución? ¿Cómo llegamos a ese punto?
Claro.
Right? And I don't think a lot of people, like you said, they think about it that way. They start like, oh, but they did this, right? And that doesn't solve anything.
Right.
You know, so I think that's a very important point for people to understand that that's what you should be doing. There's a problem came up, maybe somebody did make a mistake, it can happen. All right, how do we solve that?
Right.
And let's work on it as a team, right?
Right.
Start pointing fingers.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. Well, we appreciate having you here today, and I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to say one last question. What's I guess like a message or anything you maybe want our audience to know that you can potentially help them out with currently right now in the current market conditions that they're going to buy a house?
Yeah. I've always told this to my clients, and I'm going to say it in Spanish and in English.
Okay.
You came in not knowing anything, right?
Yeah.
At least right now, like even if like none of the news that anybody gives you is bad news. Everything is good news.
Yeah.
Why? Because you didn't even know what you can qualify for, how to move, and how to get that house.
Right.
Now you have a light, and now you know how to move. Lo mismo lo digo en español, que tú ni te imaginabas que se necesitaba. Y la noticia que uno te da, si es el prestamista o el agente de bienes raíces o lo que sea, si es uno de ellos, tú no sabes en esa situación que ahora mismo tú no tenías, ¿cómo se dice? Claridad.
Okay,
y ahora ya está claro qué es lo que tú tienes que hacer, qué es lo que vamos a poner y todo eso. Todo es siempre buena noticia,
sí.
Porque ahora ya tú sabes cómo llegar a esa meta y tener tu casa.
Yeah, the knowledge, eso es muy importante.
Sí.
Conocimiento, saber cómo funciona todo. Bueno, gracias por tenerte aquí hoy, John.
Gracias.
Para cualquier persona que quiera comunicarse con él, le vamos a dar la información y así pueden comunicarse con él y
sí. Gracias.